Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in the house. Welcome to Love Coach Sessions. I'm your man, KTJ. And today we're getting into it. We're going to talk today about this question. Does he really want me? This is a viewer question. Somebody sent the question in and, sent me just actually inboxed me, asked me to call. So this came in a conversation. Now I normally have consultations. I have love coach sessions that I charge for, but sometimes for some friends, I'll just hear their scenario and give them a quick answer. But this person gave me a call and wanted to know if this man really wants her. So I want you guys to jump into the chat room and join me in this conversation. Share your thoughts. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Everybody's got an opinion on relationships, and I'm going to give you mine, you guys. And for those that never been here, this is your first time, please hit that subscribe button and then hit the bell so you don't miss any videos in the future. If you guys are just getting here and you don't know even who I am, I'm Kelvin Troy Johnson, creator of this show, creator of Love Coach Atlanta. And I talk about dating, relationships, love, and we help people find the love they desire or light a fire under the love they have. All right. So today we're getting into it. We got a good talk today. And so we're going to talk about it. Look, this is really kind of based on male psychology, right? For some of you who are going to watch this one probably is more for the ladies, right? We do these shows for the ladies and for the men. But this one right here is going to be kind of some clues, because sometimes, men, for whatever reason, can be difficult to figure out, right? I don't think we're difficult to figure out, but sometimes ladies think that men are, right? So I had someone to send me a message in. Well, she messaged me, told me to call her, and so we talked. Here's the scenario. She met this young lady, somewhere in her 40s. She met a young man, and she met him through Facebook. Okay, inbox through Facebook. Does a lot of the pictures. Pretty lady. She does a lot of pictures. Always posting pictures, and so pictures are, thirst traps. They call it. Like some of these pictures, they just, they just send the bloodhounds to you. So she would get all these inboxes, but this one guy caught her attention. She liked him, and so they began to talk through Facebook. Well, they got each other's phone number, started talking a little bit more, and eventually he asked, "Can I come see you?" Okay, and she said, "Sure, you can come see me." And he there. I'm not going to tell you what end of. Hey, Stephanie, thank you so much for popping in. I'm not going to tell you which area of the country she's in, but they are about 4 hours away in their state. Okay, he comes up to her house. He gets a hotel, and they spend the day together. They do this, do that. Eventually end up at her place, but all right, we having some technical difficulties, but I'm gonna keep going with the avatar on, you guys. So she's having he came up to meet her at her place, and while he was there, they got together, enjoyed each other's company, and then he eventually went home. Like, they had a great time together, and he eventually split. He went back home, and pretty much that was that. Okay, so fast forward. I don't know why that's unplugged. Fast forward a little while. They continued to talk, right? Continue to connect online and through Facebook. They would talk through Facebook. Okay. He eventually talked to her, and she said, "You know what? I'll come see you." So she gets in. I think she took a bus. 4 hours on a bus. Yeesh. So she took a bus down to where he lives. They spent time together where she lives. All right. So plug it back in. It's plugged back in. Okay. Something's loose. Okay. All right. Just give me a second, you guys. Let me see if I can get this camera to adjust. All right. So I'm going to just keep going, you guys. Okay. So she came down to see him. She came down and spent time with him. And while she was there with him, they enjoyed themselves again. And had a great time. She got a hotel, so she'd have some privacy. He paid for her hotel, paid for her travel down there. Everything is great. Okay. After she went home, she started not hearing from the guy. I think his Facebook page got hacked, and so there's very little conversation going. There's very little connection happening. There's very little of anything substantive happening between the two of them. And so she's like, well, wait a minute. This guy acted like he was all in for me. He acted like, we was going to be together. We doing it. And then he disappears. Her question is, does he really want me or not? He acted like he did. How do I know if he really is serious? Now he says, when he was having the conversation, he says, I'm not looking to have a label on what we are. I'm not, I want to take my time when I get married. He said, I am hopefully getting married one day, but I want to take my time and make sure that the one that I marry is the one I'm going to be with for the rest of my life. He's like, I don't play around with it. I'm serious with it. And so if I say I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. And I ain't going to play around. So, but the calls have dropped off. The text messages have dropped off. The connection, when he does get together with her, talk again, he's like, look, I'm super busy. And he's a busy man. Like he's got his hustle going on. He's got his business. He's got other things. He's got a whole life happening. And he is busy. He says, I'm not just sitting around itching and scratching. I actually have a life, and it's been challenging to manage all of this. All right. So she asked me, what do you think? She asked some of her other male friends, and then she was like, well, those are just my male friends. I need to ask somebody who knows something. So she called me, and she was like, I know you deal with this stuff all the time, every day. Some of my male friends, they just deal with it. They just deal with their situation. But I know you've dealt with, listening to men's stories for 15 years. You know something. So I said, okay. Here's my, and before I jump in, Stephanie says, no, he does not really want her. Stephanie, tell me why you don't think that he really wants her. And then I'm gonna tell you guys what I think. I think that, for one thing, a single man. Now I'm supposing that this brother is single, right? According to her and from what she saw, my man is single. According to what he said, he's single. Okay, so we'll just assume he's single. A single man in his 40s, right? A single man is going to have multiple women hovering around in his life. Look, a single man is going to have at least 3 or 4 women who are in his life. Some of them are closer to the peripheral. Some of them are closer in direct connection, right? But he is maybe interested in her, but he's also interested in other women. Let's be honest. Okay. And plus she's 4 hours away. Now, I can tell you this, Stephanie, I see what you wrote. I'm gonna address that in a minute. Here's my thought. I could tell you that a man who goes into his pocket, for one thing, he spent his time and his energy to drive up there. to see her. Okay. Then he spent his time and energy away from his business and all the things he had going on to have her come down. He paid for her to come down, paid for her to have a hotel, paid for her food. He just took care of everything when she came. Okay. To me, those are all positive signs, right? Because there's two things that a man is slow about parting with. That is his time and his money. Okay. Now, a man will part faster with his time, with his money, right? Than with his time. Because money is money. But if you get a man to give you his time, especially if he's busy, like if he ain't got nothing else to do and he just playing PlayStation every day, then it's no big deal for him to give you his time. But if he's busy, if he's got to stop his life to give that time to you, that's significant, especially if he's an older man. Because older men understand time is money. You ain't and you don't have time to waste either one of them. Okay, so I think that it's a positive sign that he does find interest in her and find value in her. But he's not in a hurry to make anything happen. Okay. So, so she does still have a shot. I won't say that he doesn't really want her. I wouldn't say that. I would say this is going to be a long train. Like if you're looking to get married tomorrow, you with the wrong brother. Like if you're looking for a husband in the next 3 to 6 months, this ain't the guy. But this is the guy who you could actually build something with as he shows you who he is. All right. I'm gonna jump over here and see what Stephanie said. She said, men take time for what they want. Not making time equals not a priority. All right. So let me tell you this. I believe that, but then I question that statement, right? Because guess what? Maybe there are other things that have the priority. That doesn't mean he doesn't want her. Okay. A person who's busy, especially if he got a business, he's got all these things going on. He got employees, he's got contractors, right? People say if a man wants you, he'll make time for you. Well, sometimes you can't make time. Okay. Sometimes other things actually are the priority. And relationships and love and all of that, you could really want that. But if it's not time for that, then it's just not time. That doesn't mean that the man doesn't actually want you. You feel what I'm saying? It's just that, yes, a priority is important, right? But maybe he can't he can't make you the number one priority in his life at that time. Especially if he's just really getting to know the lady. She's not a number one priority, you know. Running his business is the number one priority. Paying his mortgage is the number one priority. You know, paying his car note is the number one priority. All that other stuff, it's a distance, you know. Now, as time goes on, right, and as they get closer together, she'll begin to become more of a priority as the relationship begins to meld together. But at the beginning, is she a priority? No, but that doesn't mean that he doesn't want her. I've seen that a few times around and on social media, and I think they get that wrong. I think they get that wrong, thinking that if a man wants you, if his man's not making time for you, then that means you're not a priority. That doesn't mean that. It just means he has other priorities that outrank you at the moment. That don't mean that it always will. All right. Men do take time for what they want. I can tell you that. That is true. Now, here's something for you to consider, right? Another way for you to know if a man really wants you or not is going to be not just that he gives you his time, but how he gives you his time, right? Is he including Does he see a place for you in his life? Is he having the conversation about how you fit into his life and what value you can bring to his life? Because trust me, especially a man who's about his thing, like he's looking for a teammate. He's looking for somebody. He's not looking for somebody who does the opposite thing and he can't. Y'all are never going to see each other. And like you are he's a painter and you're a plumber, or like you know what I mean, like whatever. Like I'm not saying that you have to be doing in the same career, but in some kind of way, he has to feel like he is bringing on a part, like you have a place. And if the conversation is not going along the lines of you having a place, you fitting into his life, you being part of that, part of what helps him be successful. Listen to this. Every man wants to be successful. Every man wants to conquer. Every man wants to be on top. Every man wants to be the man. Okay? Every man wants to be the man. But every man is not going to be the man. But if a man can find a woman who can come alongside him and hold up one of them sides, can help him to view. It's almost like I always use the analogy with the sniper. You ever see those movies where the sniper, the guy's got the gun, right? But there's another person that's got the telescope, right? And or they got their binoculars and they're seeing all the way down range and they're saying, all right, coordinate left, 2 places left, 2 paces to the right. I'm saying paces, but y'all know what I'm saying. 2 paces to the left, 2 paces to the right. Okay, go up, 3 coordinates up. All right, 5 coordinates down to the left, a little to the left, 1 to the left, whatever it is, right? Okay, now fire. That guy is an asset. That person that's over his shoulder giving those coordinates is an asset. That's a teammate. Now, does the guy have his own visual? Yes. Does the guy have the gun? Yes. Right? Could he possibly get the job done without the partner? Yes, he could. Right? But having the partner be able to see more. So now you got 4 eyes rather than just 2 eyes. That partner can see something that he couldn't see before because of the position of the partner. And I'm telling you, a man who is about something, a man who's hungry for success, hungry to be on top, hungry to get his money, stack his money, stack his lifestyle, improve his quality of life. That guy is looking for a partner for his time, not just somebody to go and hang out with. Now, I know people think, yeah, well, in this scenario, you think, oh, well, he had sex with her, so he's probably done with her. Sometimes that's true. And sometimes it's not. You know, sometimes it's true. Sometimes guys will put a woman on a short leash, you know, put her at arm's reach and let her keep trying. And then he brings her back and then put her back. Sometimes it's just a game. You know, it's a back and forth game. But his actions will tell you everything you need to know. You want to know if he wants you? His actions will tell you everything you need to know, even beyond his words. And sometimes you can ask him, especially grown men. You can just ask him, look, what is it that you want, and how do you see me in your life? If anybody want to know how you get there, how you really find out what the deal is, you ask him, how do you see me in your life? Do you see a place for me in your future? Look, this talk today is going to help somebody. If you take what I'm saying, this right here is going to help somebody. Ask him flat out. Because if a man doesn't see you in his future, he will not see you in his present. Not for long. If he doesn't see you in his future, he will not see you in his presence for very long. If he doesn't have a thought about how you fit in, if he doesn't have a thought about what you bring to his life and why he wants you. You don't just want to know, does a man want you? You want to know why he wants you. If he says yes, say how, why, where, when. all them qualifying questions, them W's, those questions. How do you see me in your future? Where do you see me in your future? When do you see me in your future? What am I doing in your future? What do you see that I bring to add to your future? Now, just knowing that that's what the man is looking for, that gives you an advantage. That was worth your cost of admission today that you got in here for free. I'm telling you, if you take what I'm saying here and think it through and apply it to your next situation, you're going to be a few steps ahead because you're going to understand the male mind in a different way. A male mind is thinking about the future, like a mature male mind. He's thinking about how he's going to add to his life, what's going to be good for his life, and where this guy even said, look, when I'm in my future, I want a wife that's going to be able to, I'm going to stick to, and I'm not looking to be getting divorced and breaking up and, all that stuff. I'm looking for the real thing for a long time. That tells you something. That tells you who he is, and it gives you an insight as to where you fit. Now, at the same time, you got to also ask, do you want him? This ain't just about whether he wants you. The question is, do you want him? Is he going where you're going? Is he going in the direction of the mate that you would hope for? Okay. Look, you can't get out here and be a Christian woman marrying an atheist just because he's nice. Okay. It's not going to work out. No, it's not. It's not going to work out. You need to know, you need to turn that around and ask, do I really want him? Do I want to be connected to his mentality, his work ethic, his purpose, his, the positives and the negatives about the guy? Is this somebody that I want attached to my life? Look, if you are going to go you're going down to Apple, right? And you're going to apply at Apple, even if let's say you applying for the head job, Mr. President of Apple, and Apple is deciding to bring you in, right? They're going to look at your resume and ask themselves, do we see this guy being the leader of this organization? Do we see this guy as someone who we can build something with, somebody who we can follow, somebody who has established already that he knows where he's going, and he's able to help get us from where we are right now to a higher plane and increase our worth. People coming into your company should be required to increase your worth. Listen to what I'm saying. People that you are attaching yourself to should be required to increase your worth beyond just a good time, beyond just a good Friday night, beyond just a kiss that made me feel so warm inside. Like, it's got to go more than that. It's got to be more than that. Because trust me, for that man, it's going to be more than that for him. And that is not going to be enough. Being good in bed is not enough. Being good, a good kisser, it's not enough. Being pretty is not enough. Being shapely is not enough. because all of that is going to wear off. Things begin to fall, things begin to sag, things begin to droop, things begin to not work as effectively as they used to. Some things begin to need a pill to just to hang in there. Okay? So you need to ask yourself, not only does he really want me, but the question is, do you really want him? And if he doesn't check off the boxes of the person who fits your future, the person who was already going in the direction you're going in, and now you guys can just go there together. If he doesn't match that, then you need to tell him, like Apple would tell you, I'm sorry. Unfortunately, we had to find a more suitable candidate. And, your resume was impressive, but you are not what we need. We need more. We need more. Yes, Stephanie, things get old. I'm telling you. And as much as you love the sex, guess what? That'll get old. It'll be exciting at first, but what else you got? Because after everybody hits their happy point, everybody hits the happy mark, then what? So now you got to deal with them. You got to deal with their mentality, their thoughts, their actions. You got to deal with them in particular. So there's got to be more. And you must require more. Come on, somebody. You must require more. Like, just because somebody's nice, that don't mean y'all should be together. Just because you're a Christian and they're a Christian. Just because you a Muslim and they're a Muslim. Like, that don't mean y'all need to be together. Just because y'all both Democrats, you're both Republicans, whatever it is, that don't mean that this is going to be a good relationship. You must have requirements, and that person should meet your requirements before you invite them up to meet you. Like, people end up in these situations and you just wonder, like, didn't you know this beforehand? Didn't you see this coming? Didn't you feel that this was going to end up like this? But you stuck into it anyway. Some of these questions should have been asked on day one, or at least the first week. So you shouldn't have to guess which way a person is going to months after y'all been talking, months after y'all been together. No way. No way. You should have already had the answers that you need as to whether this man really wants you or not. Way before all this time and all of this attention and activity has occurred. And now you want to know. Okay. Putting that cart way before the horse again. And it'll be surprise when he doesn't call you. When you don't hear from him. Surprise. It's not a surprise. This is just what you set up, and this is what it is. All right, you guys, thank you so much for listening. Look, hit that subscribe button. I need everybody to hit that thumbs up as we come through. I'm going to be on the road this week, so I'm not sure if we're going to shoot a couple of shows all throughout the week, but look, I got plenty. Look, if you go down this list, I got plenty of videos and stuff for you to listen to. I'm sure I got at least 50 videos on this channel for you, and something in here is something that you haven't heard before. I guarantee. So jump in there and enjoy yourself as you learn and just listen. Look, you don't have to even agree with everything I say. I'm not one of them people who you got to listen to me. Listen to me. You must agree with No, you don't have to agree with everything I say. But I do just want you to listen. I want you to listen and consider So now you got options. You got more than just what you think. You got what I think. And you can make your decision based upon what you think and what I think, put it together and make the right decision for you. Because at the end, you are the person who's got to live with your decision. Sometimes it's worth you just taking a chance on something, taking a chance on love. It works out great in the Hallmark channels, but it works out terrible on the ID channel. Okay. so like we don't know which way it's gonna go, but sometimes it's worth it and sometimes it's not. So but I encourage you to keep listening, keep growing, and keep on hanging in here with the channel. And we need you guys to join the Patreon community and help us keep these shows going. Hit that share button, share it with somebody. There's somebody that needs to hear this talk today. All right, till next time, peace and love. Bye.